Hey guys, welcome to Section 3, Chapter 6 of the Algebra 1 program, entitled Standard Form. So in the last section, we learned about slope-intercept form, right? So slope-intercept form took the form y equals mx plus b. And this form, the slope-intercept form, is really our favorite. There's so much that we can do with that. But it's important that we are not always given this form, at least initially. Okay? So sometimes we get a function in standard form. And standard form takes the form ax plus by equals c. That's right. Now we have x, y, m, and b, and a, b, and c. By the time you're done with math, we'll use every letter. So when we have this form, there are two ways that we can either manipulate the function or utilize a skill to be able to graph these things. And the thing that we're going to learn in this section is using the x and y intercepts to be able to graph functions in standard form. Now, if you see something like x plus 2y equals 1, we're going to get to the place that, you might want to just solve this for y and put it in slope-intercept form. But we're not quite there yet. I want to be able to give you this tool as just like another method in your toolbox to be able to solve these functions and be able to graph them. Okay? So you heard us talk last section about the y-intercept, right? And the y-intercept was where the function crossed the y-axis, right? Well, similarly, where the function crosses the x-axis is the x-intercept, okay? And if we find both the x and the y-intercept, we would have 2 points, and that would be enough to generate a line and be able to graph the function that we're given. So that's what we're going to do. So we have this function, x plus 2y equals 1, and we want to find the intercepts, okay? So the intercepts are going to be found by putting in 0 for x, and then putting in 0 for y, all right? And I kind of write this out in this way to help you keep track of where you're at. So if we put in 0 for x, then I would get 0 plus 2y equals 1, or 2y equals 1, or y equals a half, right? So y would equal a half, and that would be my y-intercept. And then if I put in 0 for y, I would get x plus 2 times 0 equals 1, while 2 times 0 is 0, and x would equal 1. Okay, so these are my intercepts, right? My x and my y. Which one is which? It might be less obvious to tell right now, but let's throw them in a graph real quick. 0, a half, and then 1, 0. So this one is obviously my y-intercept, and this one is my x-intercept. And although they're pretty close together, 2 points are enough to make a line. Now I wanted you to do 3 points in the last section just because I thought that it helped with the practice. But 2 points are all we need to make a line. And once you have those 2 intercepts, you can throw them on a graph and you're good to go. All right. So, okay, let's do another one here. What if I had the function x plus y equals -4? All right, so I think the easiest way to do this is by making 0, comma, and then comma 0, so you know which one to plug into. And again, this is probably obvious, but it's x comma y, right? So when x is 0, it's 0 plus y equals -4. So y needs to be -4. That's going to go here. And then over here, when y equals 0, then it would be x plus 0 equals -4, and x would also equal -4. So these are the 2 points that I'm going to plot, right? The first one is my y-intercept, so 0, -4, start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. And then my x-intercept over here, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 0. And then grab your straight edge. Remember, I was telling you about that yesterday, or in the last section, I should say. Don't be lazy. Let's make a nice clean graph here. All right. All right, let's do another one. What if I had 2x plus y equals 8? All right, I want you to get in the habit of putting those two ordered pairs up there so you know what you have and what you're solving for. So when x equals 0, I would have 2 times 0 plus y equals 8. 0 plus y equals 8, and y would need to equal 8. And then over here, when y equals 0, it would be 2x plus 0 equals 8. 2x equals 8, and x would equal 4. All right, I actually did. I went off my graph here. So 0, 8 would be all the way up here. I'll make it nice and dark. And then 4, 0 would be over here. And those are your two intercepts. All you need to, make this line. Okay, so standard form is okay. We can use intercepts to graph, and that's going to be good. All right, let me do maybe just one more for you. Let's see. What if I had something like -3x plus 2y equals 6? All right, let's do 0, comma, and then comma 0. When x equals 0, it would be -3 times 0 plus 2y equals 6. 2y equals 6, and y would equal 3. All right, similarly, when y equals 0, then it'd be -3x plus 2 times 0 equals 6. -3x equals 6, and x equals -2. All right, let's go ahead and graph these. 0, 3 is up here, and then -2, 0 is over here. And then get your straight edge. Okay, grab your straight edge and connect your points. If you don't have any graph paper, it really might be worth investing in some for this section just to help you, making sure that you're plotting points correctly. It's easier to do your straight edges and things like that. So I would encourage you maybe to get some graph paper for this section. Okay, one other thing I wanted to talk about. What if we had something simply like y equals 4? How do you graph that? Well, that is simply the line through the point x equals 4. So you find where x equals 4, and then we're going to do this straight line right through it. Sometimes when things are simpler, we make them more complicated, but that's it. So if I had y equals 3, I would go to where 3 is on the y, and I would draw a straight line right through it. If I had x equals -5, where is x -5? Right there. So then I'd grab my straight edge, go straight through, and it's just that straight line there. All right, so hopefully that is not too challenging. I want you guys to finish up your notes, read through the lesson, and begin your assignment.